Hello everyone, Merry Christmas and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 19 deadline stream. It's possibly the most difficult game week of the year to prepare for. We've got no press conferences, team news very thin on the ground, very quick turnaround from the last deadline as well. So it's going to be a particularly difficult one to navigate. But even though we've had no press conferences, I have been searching high and low for some indication of potentially what might be going on in terms of player availability this week. We've got 5 games coming up today, 3 tomorrow and 2 on Thursday. So we've also got Haaland coming back in potentially for Man City. Potentially could be coming back into our teams as well. So it's going to be an interesting one to prepare for, that's for sure. But appreciate everyone that has chosen to join me this morning on Boxing Day. Hopefully not too many sore heads after Christmas Day yesterday. Still got my Christmas jumper on with the baubles. Hopefully you enjoyed a thumb as well. If you've been enjoying my content this season, please like the stream. It gets it out to as many people as possible. And subscribe to the channel. I am still banging this drum for 30k subscribers by the end of 2023. So I've got under a week to do it. So I need all of your help. First of all, my team. I'll go through my team and potential moves, and then I'll come say hello in the chat. So make sure you are saying hello. I had pretty much a disaster in game week 18. It was a shocking game week. Game week ranked down at 6.2 million. The only positive is I somehow made it through the cup. I sold Areola because I didn't think he was going to start for Martinez. Areola kept a clean sheet. Martinez didn't. So that was a bit of a disaster. Captain Watkins blanked, but most people went for him. Anyway, Palmer got his suspension, so Hamas is out this week. Archer on my bench. It wasn't great, was it? But, you know, the next game week is here already, so it doesn't matter too much. In terms of this week, at the moment, I'm thinking I'm going to roll. Palmer's benched. Lascelles and Livramento are benched, but Livramento's prioritised over Lascelles because I feel like he's got a higher ceiling, even if he doesn't start. To be fair, I don't expect either of them to start. Captain Salah at the moment, but I'm not 100% convinced, which is a bit of a worry. So we'll see what happens. We've got 2 hours to lock in and decide. As promised, though, I am going to go say hello to the chat. And hang on, that's the screen. And a big thank you to the mods coming in as well this morning. We had quite a few here early. We had Roy, we had Gerson, Abod, Clark Farm, Akshat, VJ are both modding this morning. So nice to see you guys. Clark Farm said Merry Christmas, Holly. Akshat said hey. VJ in sunny Watford. Akshat says Merry Christmas as well. We've got Big Fat Giraffe is in, a beer. Another member, David, is in as well. Paolo, Welshing, Mr. Blanky, Ayaz, Paolo, Abbott, Tim, Jacqueline, Ben, John, Stephen, another member, Brian, Emphi, Dijon, The Gaffer, Abbott, and Checkmate. So good to see you all. Pleased to see so many of you in already. And there's already 200 of you. So if you are in, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. We're going to try and get the stream up to 100 likes to start with. We're already at 42. A bit quieter stream than some. So hopefully more chance of getting your questions answered on this one. Roy has already asked Saka v Odegaard and Gabriel Jesus. I think it's still Saka for me. I know he's been disappointing in the last few game weeks, but I think he's still got the most potential. And Abad has said Bowen or Gross or Richarlison for the next 5 game weeks. Probably lean towards Bowen. If we look at predicted points over the next 5, kind of for that price category, yeah, it's Bowen who's coming out on top behind Saka, interestingly. Odegaard a bit further down. None of those other names you mentioned, Gross, Eze, Kulu making up the top 10, but in the lower positions, no Richarlison in there. Clark Fam, this is an interesting one. Do you think it's possible for Salah to be benched against Burnley? Or rested, sorry. And unfortunately, I do think this could happen. I think there's always a greater risk of it when a side plays away from home on Boxing Day. He's had a pretty busy schedule, played 90 in all of the last 3. But then you look at the injuries that Liverpool have got and the fact that there's only one more week before Salah goes to AFCON. I think he's probably safe. I think I am going to give him the armband. I've seen some people considering Trent for the armband, which is interesting. I think he got a 24-pointer on Boxing Day a few seasons ago. And, since moving into that inverted wing-back role again, in the last 6 game weeks, he's got 5 attacking returns, 2 clean sheets in there as well, and 10 bonus points. So pretty convincing in terms of his output. I find it really difficult, though, to captain a defender in FPL. So it is a challenging one. Lots to think about. By the way, guys, I've got the tweet deck open. So if we get any leaks of any description, then, I've got that covered for you guys. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out on any news coming out on Twitter. I'll be honest, it's going to be thin on the ground. It's not going to be traditional leaks that I can imagine. It's going to be, slightly different kind of information coming through, maybe on players that haven't travelled. But, it's not going to be great in terms of information. I have got a few bits bookmarked for you already, though. This was the update on Richarlison, which makes him difficult to back, to be fair. We've also got Ben posted a load of updates on Christmas Eve on player availability. Everton stretched, which isn't great going into the City game. Idrissa Gueye potentially out now as well. We had updates from Bournemouth. Lewis Cook needs to be checked, as does Adam Smith. Sorry, I'm struggling with a bit of a cold this morning, guys. Newcastle's the early kickoff, so I'm hopeful for a bit of news there, which could help me at least with my bench order with Livramento and Lascelles. Havertz out for suspension. Trossard likely to come in for Arsenal. Diaz, obviously, a doubt, which I think helps Salah in terms of not getting benched. Tsimikas is a sell. I think I've put that in the little breaking news box. But also, obviously, Palmer picked up his 5th yellow, is now suspended. I think it's fine to bench him. I think he's going to be a good option throughout the season. And it's come at a good time, really, when you've got the likes of, Archer with Luton at home. It's okay to roll the dice on him, to be fair. Udogie back from suspension for Spurs, but Basuma won't play again this year. Spurs obviously don't play till Thursday. Romero to be assessed as well. Joe Linton, an outside chance for Newcastle. Nothing in terms of an update on Lascelles, but Botman returning to the side. So in terms of team leaks, where they're going to come from, probably most likely from Newcastle Forest. Potential from Bournemouth, Fulham, Sheffield United, Luton, Burnley and potentially Liverpool as well. But yeah, for the sides that play Wednesday, Thursday, it's highly unlikely we're going to get any information there. But I've got quite a lot of stuff open on my desktop. I've got Discord open where I can get some leaks. I've got information on, some other sources as well on WhatsApp. I guess that a lot of people asking whether this is the week to get Haaland back. Everton away is not an easy fixture, though. And with no guarantees that he starts, you're not going to captain him. So if you're not going to captain him, I think you can afford to get another week of information and bring him back going into game week 20. Deadline on Saturday for that one. So 4 days' time. I feel like we're already in that time where, you know, all the days blend into one. I'm just going to check in with some member questions. Stephen has said, start Gabriel or roll a transfer to Trent, or roll or transfer to Trent for free. Is that Gabriel to Trent? I don't think I'd sell Gabriel. I think I'd start him, to be fair. VJ said share the stream among other FPL managers. Yeah, so we are going for 30k subs by the end of the year. So if you're not subscribed, or you know someone else that might like the content that isn't subscribed, this is the time to do it to help me on that journey. Checkmate says, are there any updates on Amari Bell? Is he in the squad? Not had any updates at all there. I have got some predicted lineups as well. I am going to jump to the big screen for these. I'm just going to check the tweet deck as well to make sure we're not missing anything. So these are predicted lineups that Emma Jump the Waivers collated from various fans from different clubs. So from Spurs, predicted lineup looks like Vicario, Romero, Udogie, Davis, Porro, Kulu, Sarr, Son, Skip, Johnson, Richarlison. Man City, predicted lineup, has Haaland at 0%, interestingly. Is Edison, Stones, Diaz, Vardiol, Walker, Bernardo, Rodri, Kovacic, Foden, Grealish, Alvarez. I don't think I would buy Haaland back this week. I think if you've got him, start him. If you've had him on your bench the last few weeks, certainly get him back on the pitch. But, you know, make sure this goes for everyone, but make sure you've ordered your bench carefully. Liverpool predicted lineup. You've got Alisson in goal, Trent, Van Dijk, Gomez, Konate, Endo, Szoboszlai, Salah, Jones, Darwin. And then it's a bit of a mismatch after that, possibly Gakpo. So we'll see on that one. Newcastle predicted lineup. This is the one I'm hoping we will get leaks for. We've got Dubravka, Trippier, Schär, Botman, Burn. Burn 60%, Livramento 40%, interestingly. And then Bruno, Miley, Longstaff, Almiron, Gordon, Isaac. And the last one we've got at the moment is from Aston Villa. Martinez, Konza, Carlos, Luis, Moreno, McGinn, Longley, Bailey, Ramsey, Watkins, Diaby at 50%. So that's all we've got at the moment in terms of information, which, as I said, is not great. It's not going to be easy to prepare for, but that's what we're working with. What I'm going to focus on now then is answering some of your questions. So make sure that you are subscribed so that you can ask questions in the chat. And with it being a quieter stream than some, there's a good chance you'll get your question answered. We're at 86 likes, so let's get the stream to that 100 likes. Abod says, should I do Palmer and Hwang to Foden and Gross? I don't have problems on my team. Now, I'd just hold Palmer because I think you'd want him back next week anyway. I think Hwang out for Foden or Gross looks okay, but I wouldn't sell Palmer. Weighing says, have you had a good Christmas? Yeah, it was lovely, thank you. Predictions for Newcastle v Forest. Is that predicted lineup or predicted result? I think Newcastle will do very well. I know they've kind of been on their knees a bit in the last few weeks, but I think it will be a win to nil. Extract says, do you think not selling Haaland during AFCON is a good choice? Do you mean Salah? Yeah, Salah's a difficult one. Like, I've had Salah since game week 1, since the start of the season. So I bought him at 12.5. He's now up to 13.3. If I sell him, I only get 12.9 million in value back in him. So then if he only drops by like 0.1, then, you know, he's going to be more expensive to buy back. And at some point, once AFCON's over, particularly if we've got Haaland, Salah, Son all fit, Saka in form, Trent doing well still, our budgets are going to be very, very tight, which makes it difficult, especially if Watkins is an option as well. So you have to be mindful of that you could lose up to 0.4 in value. It depends how many people sell Salah. Egypt you would imagine would go deep into the tournament. And given Salah's consistency and popularity right now, I feel like anyone logging into FPL that sees him red flagged will sell. Just because the deadlines are so spread out into January as well. It's a tricky one to call, but I'm not. I think I'm going to sell him anyway. I think he'll be my route back to Haaland next week if I need it for game week 20. Paolo says wildcard one still to play, 1 week cheeky punt. Trent's a big one for me. In terms of goalkeepers, Dubravka, Raya. In terms of defenders, it's Trent. Trippier, to be fair. Trippier, Trent for me in the defender bracket. Into midfield. I mean, Bowen, I know Arsenal away sounds hard on paper, but he's done really well in terms of away form this season. It feels like there's not that many players in the pool to select from at the minute. Eze is a 1 week punt, but it's away from home. I feel like home games are even bigger an advantage when it's certainly the Boxing Day round of fixtures. But yeah, you look at those predicted points, there's not a lot to choose from. And forwards, you know, Solanke if you've not got him, Isaac. Wouldn't be as hot on Wissa, to be fair. And that's where I'd be with those anyway. There's nearly 400 of you in, which is amazing. And we've got the stream up to 100 likes, which is fab as well. So thank you, everyone. Make sure you're subscribing as well if you are tuning in, because I am aiming to get to 30k subscribers by the end of the week/year. Jacqueline says, thinking of switching a Dingra, but with 5.5, I'm stranded. Yeah, I think you need to hang on to him. Ben has said, is there any latest news on Haaland? Can't see anything in terms of news on the tweet deck. The only thing we can do is check the website. The thing is, the lack of journos around means that it's really difficult to get any info. I mean, there was stuff on the website, but they probably won't have even trained. Getty Images can sometimes be an okay source. Nothing since since midweek. So, yeah, nothing at the minute. And it doesn't help that they don't play till tomorrow. You'd imagine City will be training today. But still, yeah, we're still going blind pretty much. John has said quite a big other representation in the captaincy poll. Interesting where the armband's being handed to. Yeah, 12% going away from Salah, Son, Haaland. 75% Salah, 6% Son, 7% Haaland, 12% other. So if you're in the 12%, let me know who you are giving the armband to. Brian is Malagusto a goodbye, giving Chelsea's good fixtures and the long injury absence of Reece James. I mean, he's had his fitness issues himself. He's still a young player. I know he got a couple of assists against Luton, but they were in his only attacking returns of the season. The fixtures are there, but it's just Chelsea's clean sheet potential just feels horrendous at the minute. I kept the clean sheet against Sheffield United at home, but other than that, it's been bleak. So I don't love him as a pick. He's cheap, but we don't need cheap right now. Fire says, Jesus is my captain. If you can't back him at Christmas, when can you? Nelson, another member in, says, hey, Holly, Solanke for captaincy. Interesting one. Casual Brighton fan says, well, when will Tsimikas come back? He's broken his collarbone, so he's going to be out. Obviously, Robertson will come back in when he's fit. Robertson will be back soon, you would imagine. Some going Trent. FPL Shorts fancies Chris Wood to start and score against his former club. Quite a few Solanke, Saka, I'm seeing in the chat. Yeah, so there's plenty of options on captaincy. I'm just going to be boring and go Salah, I think. The gaffer said, should I bring in Richarlison for Sterling? Wouldn't do it this week. Abir says you look stunning. Thank you. I don't feel it, but appreciate that anyway. So deep. Should I jump on the Kudos ship or stick with Bowen? I'd just stick with Bowen. Killer Rat is in. Good to see you. Gavin, who good short-term replacement for Sterling? Bowen? Apparently I'm looking fresh. I had a good sleep last night. Solid 8 hours. A bit of afternoon drinking. To be fair, I think I only had one gin and tonic yesterday. Did get some new gin for Christmas. Tim, would you pick any Manchester United players? No, unfortunately not. I'd love them to be FPL assets. They're just not at the minute. Abir, what to do with Isaac? Sell him or play Pinnock? I'd start him. The rumours at the moment, it's looking promising for an Isaac start. Hopefully we'll get some firmer news before the deadline. We've still got an hour and 40 minutes before it's time to lock those teams in. Just having a quick check that I've not missed anything. Adib, captain in Trippier. Not the worst idea. He's been in awful form, though. Arlo, play you Doggy or Darwin or Archer. Got to be Darwin. He'll start against Burnley. Rizwan, considering captain in Solanke. Thoughts on that? Well, I'm confident that he starts and play 90. Fulham's form is all over the place. It's hard to know what with them, but I think with Solanke being at home on Boxing Day, it's such a huge boost for clubs. And, especially with what happened in the Luton game, I think the Bournemouth fans will, be expecting a big performance. Marcus, should I go for Douglas Luiz for a ding row? Was going to go for Palmer or change the cells up. I think I'd change the cells up because you can make the move to Palmer next week. I think Palmer's still a good buy long term, so I'd make the move from Lascelles. 4.6 million, who to get? You obviously want someone with a decent fixture this week. Dan Burns only 4.4. I'm not convinced how nailed either of them are. You could go Pinnock, but it's not particularly exciting. You could go Colwell, who often plays fullback. Prefer Colwell to Gusto. Options are really thin on the ground right now, though, particularly in defence, particularly at the budget end. Dr. Wallis, Gomez in for Simicast, yeah, but I still... Robertson won't be back too long, so it makes it difficult. Burn v Gusto. I'll just go Colwell. Stuart, only question today. I'm going to have to hold you to that. And Kunku or Jesus? Got to be Jesus. Malachi, have to captain Solanke. I don't even own Solanke. Could go Archer to Solanke, couldn't I? How much money have I got in the bank? 2 million. Probably can't do that then, can I? Solanke's 7. I'm not really looking to use a transfer this week, to be fair. The deadlines are really spread out after next week. We've got... I want 2 frees to get Haaland back next week if I feel like I need to. Then I'm basically going to be retired in January. We've got one deadline on the 13th, the next deadline on the 30th. I don't really know what I'm going to do with myself in January. Frederick says Isaac or double Arsenal defence, Isaac. Frederick says, which 2 would you bench? Douglas Luiz, Cher, Porro, Saliba. I don't think you can bench Luiz. Or Porro, so probably the other 2. Max, should I start Haaland or Archer? Just start Haaland. We don't know if Haaland's starting. It's not looking that promising. Ben says, when do players go to AFCON or the Asia Cup? Would we see a few players heading out to that playing less minutes? Yeah, they'll be unavailable. So it's game week 21 it starts. So that means no Son, no Salah. Obviously, because those deadlines are spread out, they could only miss 1 game if they get knocked out in the group round. But you'd imagine Egypt would go quite far into the Asia Cup. Hopefully you can still hear me. I've just been knocking my mic around. And Egypt are predicted to go far in AFCON. So, yeah, it's going to be a tricky time to navigate. We're going to have a lot of money in the bank. So they won't play in FPL while they're there. So that's something that you really need to have on your radar now, because pretty much it's happening now. Wolverine says, I sincerely hope Trent blanks. Yeah, it's a bit scary going into this week without Trent, to be fair. Arlo, pretty sure you've asked that one already. Ronnie has said, bring in you doggy for Lascelles. I prefer Porro, which makes it seem hard to buy you doggy. Because I think 2 is too much. We're up to 150 likes, by the way, guys, so thank you. Salah fingers. I have to bench one, Alvarez or Watkins. It's tricky, but probably Alvarez. Definitely just lost my place in the chat. Play you doggy or Lascelles got to be you doggy. Ben has asked about Lewis Miley. Yeah, I can't remember what Ben Dinnery said on this. Instinctive decision after the poor start. I still think he'll start, though, in 19. Dan James. I have Watkins and Haaland, but I have Tsimikas and Palmer. Bench is stretched. Going to upgrade Mubama. Have 6 million in the bank. Best striker. It's not a lot of choice at under 6. Wissa, Kuna, then Archer. For a little bit longer term. Calvert-Lewin. I feel like Calvert-Lewin's got a good record against Man City. João Pedro. Yes, Kuna's probably your best bet, but, you know, I don't love it. Is there anything else you can do? Can you not just sell Tsimikas? That's what I'd do. Rosa's saying, is Solanke a good differential captain? Yep, I'd say so. I don't know how his predicted points compares to other players this week, to be fair. He's 7th in the list. Mandup. Best replacements for Cash and Tsimikas besides Trent and Porro. I mean, Trippier's recent form worries me. I wouldn't buy a City defender this week. Then it's an Arsenal defender. Not as attractive options as those other options, though. Ethan, would you do Trippier to Trent? If I didn't have major issues elsewhere in my squad, then as a luxury move, yeah, don't mind it. Killerat says, I sold Tsimikas, bought Trent. The only way back to Haaland, selling Salah, Saka or Trippier. That's fine. Doesn't need to be done this week anyway. Which goalkeeper do you think is best right now? I have Sanchez, who is injured. Is it worth transferring him out? I mean, I bought Martinez last week, but I couldn't buy Dubravka because I was tripled up already. Edison tops the predictions, followed by Dubravka and Raya. Best replacement for Haaland. This is not the week to sell Haaland. If you come this far, keep him. Abel, start Dallo or Douglas Luiz. Got to be Luiz. Dr. Waleed, I don't know if this is true or not, says Haaland's not in training. Regardless of he trains alone, he needs to train with all to start in the team. Expected to be back in 21. I've not had any official news on Haaland, to be fair. Yeah, can't see any updates on Twitter that can offer us too much help at the moment. Unfortunately. I'll keep referring back to the tweet deck though. Try and get that information through for you guys. Almost at 200 likes, by the way. And slowly creeping up to 29.5k subs, which is exciting. Checkmate says play Concert or Bell. Bell went out with an injury v Newcastle, but not even yellow flagged. I think playing Concert's fine. I don't think a trip to Old Trafford is that easy. Is that difficult, sorry, unfortunately, at the minute. Misha, any update on Pedro Neto? Yeah, I think I saw somewhere that he was going to play before the end of the year. So I think that kind of means game week 20. I think he just missed out against Chelsea. Sanchez to Petrovic. I feel like you'll be going back the other way. As soon as Sanchez is back, Petrovic will lose his place. So I don't think that's a wise move. Killer Rat says, double West Ham midfield, a crazy idea. I have Bowen. I could get Kudus next week. Not making any moves this week. Yeah, I want to monitor this week to see if it's viable. I don't hate it. Please don't spam the chat, guys. At least give me a chance to answer everyone's questions. Ivalo, start flecking on Martinez. This is something I've toyed with this week. To be fair, Flecken's got the higher predicted points. I just feel with Martinez, he's a better goalkeeper. And I back him in any fixture, particularly in the form Aston Villa are in. More than capable of a pen save as well, so... Oh yeah, Manan says Kudus as AFCON. Dushman, bench or play Isaac? Play him. Anna, should I take a -4 Haaland for Slanky? No, absolutely not. Jacob, start Archer or Bowen? Gotta be Bowen. Collins, who to captain? Salah, Gordon, Son or Solanke? Salah for me. Max and Steez, who to bench? Gordon, Bowen or Kudus? Kudus. I wouldn't really want to bench any of them, though. Is Trippier a good captaincy shout? Not for me. Anyone that's spamming the chat with the same question is getting put in timeout. Zuber, hey Holly, got Trent in this week. Do you think it'll be okay to take him out for a hit to get Haaland in? Yeah, you may not need to, though. We need to just wait for news on Haaland. We just don't know at the moment. MJ, double up on Newcastle defence this week. Yeah, but it's if you can find the starters. I think if you've got Trippier and... Trippier's the only one that I'm really convinced starts at the minute, but we will get some information closer to the deadline, hopefully. Just have a look, because I've got WhatsApp open as well to see if there's any news anywhere. Nothing at the moment, though. Vicky says, happy Boxing Day, thank you. FPL Short says, hey, Holly, loving the new look graphics presentation, including the tweet deck. Thank you, Matt. It's been like this all season. Is this your first time joining us for a while? Appreciate you checking in, though, and subscribing. Dushman, keep or sell Isaac? I think you've got to keep him. Keep him, start him. Mark, hi Holly, you and the family had a great Christmas. We did. I've done Simicast to Trent, would a -4 and changed Turner Sanchez. My goalies are a weak link. I also have cash. Now, you can't take a hit for a goalkeeper. Just got to ride it out and hope for the best. VJ always plugging in the chat says, if you're new, welcome to Holly's award-winning channel. Thank you, VJ. Daniel, who are the best vice-captains if Salah gets the armband but doesn't play? I think there's a small chance Salah is benched, but even so, you'd expect him to come on. I think Son's fine as a vice. Trent. Linford, another mod, is in, said, good morning, Holly and the mod squad. Hope you all had a blessed Christmas. Thanks for joining, mate. MJ just keeps saying that any news on Haaland, there's nothing at the minute. I don't think we'll get anything because he doesn't even play today. I feel like potentially there's a Ten Hag press conference going on at the moment for tomorrow, but it's hard to say for sure. It's difficult because of, you know, bank holidays in the UK for Christmas. Will, I don't want to bench any of my mids. Which forward do I bench of Alvarez, Solanke or Watkins? Alvarez. Tay LT. Simicast for a City defender. I don't love it. Sam, should I start Botman and triple up on Newcastle defence to replace either Archer, Bowen or Porro? No. I guess we're still looking for leaks as well on the Newcastle lineup, which I'm kind of hopeful we're getting, but with an hour and 20 until the deadline, it's perhaps a little bit early. Vicky says, Simicast to Colwell or Sensei for a punt. Prefer Colwell. Killer Rat said, McTominay an option for a cheap mid, potentially. Linford says, still recovering from the Christmas lunch. Love it. I think we'll be doing it all again later with the leftovers. Richard says, start Bowen over Archer. Yeah, Malachi. Start Baldock over Saka, since I'd rather get a 6 off Baldock than 2 off Saka. He's got us back, Saka. I think I've got a good chance of answering all your questions today, so keep them coming. Make sure you're subbed as well. Senor, who should I replace Simicast with? Trent, if you can get there. Porro. Bad Panda, play 2. Diaby, Gabriel, Zinchenko. I think I'd bench Zinchenko. Rakesh, Solanke or Trent for 19 to 24. I really like Trent, but Solanke is difficult to ignore with his form. But I've got Trent and I've got no intention of, you know, moving him on to get Solanke in. Abod, why not captain Son? I just prefer Salah. I think he's got the better fixture. The Little Yellow Duck Project. Play Haaland or Alvarez if I already own Haaland. Just play Haaland. Octavian, Watkins or Jesus? Got to be Watkins. Ishan. Saliba, Gabriel, Porro and Archer. Which 3 do I start? I don't like starting both Arsenal defenders, so I'd probably bench Gabriel of those. Good midfield player for under 5? I don't think there is. There you go. McTominay leading the predictions. Dishard, good morning. Burn or Livramento? We've got to wait for more news. With an hour and a bit to go. Casual Brighton fan, when will Simicast come back in? He's expected to be out for a while with a broken collarbone. Robertson expected back mid-January. So I don't think waiting for Simicast to come back is an option, which is why I recommend selling him this week. Just having a little check around that we're not missing any news. think we're okay at the moment. As I said already, I am planning to roll the transfer. Emmanuel says Konsa or Saliba. I'd go Saliba. Linford says 52 points last game week. Overall rank of 111k. Well done. 3 flags this week. Palmer, Tsimikas, Johnson. Deciding on hitting wildcard next game week. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'd sell Tsimikas. The Killer Rat says keep Saka. I'm thinking to sell him every time I sell one of these top players they haul. Ahmed, start Chris Wood or Porro. Got to be Porro for me. Brian T. Saka for me as captain. Interesting. Amri says free hit. I have 5 players injured or out for this game week. I'd just make 2 transfers for a -4 and try and get 11. Garnacho under 5 million differential. Yeah, he's not doing too badly in the predictions either. It's thin on the ground though in that price packet. He-Chan to Richarlison. I just worry on Richarlison's availability this week. Or was he in the predicted lineup? I can't remember now. Oh, he was at 100% to be fair. Should be okay. Sorry, I was just... I think my kids had popped out and taken to the park. My eldest got roller skates for Christmas and she was just roller skating around the living room all day yesterday. Doing our heads in the end, but, you just got to run with it. Declan, next week, would you sell Son and bench Salah? Because it'd be hard work bringing him back in. Is this going to be a difficult call? I don't know if I can get back to Haaland from selling Son. That's even if we need to, by the way. Yeah, it's going to have to be Salah out for me. Killer Rat says McTominay top goal scorer for United this year, which is crazy. Ali says, have you made transfers? I'm rolling this week. And I've got a route back to Haaland next week if I need it. If you've still got Haaland, start him. Robbo Ball, play Kufal v Arsenal with no bench or take a -4. I'd just play Kufal v Arsenal. Also wavering between Solanke and Salah. Just got to trust your gut there. I'm going Salah, I think. I've not got Solanke though, so. Will bench Bowen or Alvarez? Colm, 370k odds to 1.2 million over the last 5 game weeks. So I'm on Richarlison caps. It's rotten luck. Amri, how did you do in the cup? I somehow got through with my 32-pointer. 33-pointer via 32-pointer. They took a -4. But yeah, pretty shocking. I've got a decent opponent this week, though. Properly active team. No Trento at the moment. They've got Solanke, which, could be the one. Team on the up, so. Chris says Nunez to Nkunku. Just don't trust Nkunku's minutes at the moment. Member question from Mark. Best Simicast and Lascelles replacements. Got 0.9 in the bank. Thinking Saliba. Yeah, I'd get that move done. Linford nearly went Solanke captain last week. Changed it before the deadline. Unlucky, mate. Davis family, if you had Haaland, would you start and captain him with Vice on Son or for a punt? You're risking a 1 point cameo, so I wouldn't do it. Brian, start Saliba or Colwill? Probably Saliba. Sam, who to bench out of Botman, Porro, Archer? I think I would go Archer. Rakesh, Trent or Solanke? Trent. Ilkas, bench Gay or Pinnock? Probably Gay. Arba, can you give an explanation why you went Martin Evans over Raya? Didn't want to be doubled up on Arsenal defence. Don't know if Raya keeps his place long term. Mark says, is Archer an alternative captain pick v Luton? No. Sheffield United don't score enough goals. That's the issue. I don't know if I missed Killer's question before. Sell or keep Salah during AFCON. I think if you can get away with keeping him, then do. But if it's at the detriment of your team long term, it's fine to sell, buy him back. Especially if it's your route to getting Haaland back as well. I think it makes sense. Akash, I've got 3 players going out in 21. Salah, Son, Kudus. Who should I replace this week? I wouldn't worry this week. I'll keep them for this week. Justin, support from New Zealand, thank you. Team doing terrible and captaining Gordon from Newcastle. Don't mind that, to be fair. Has he returned in every home game this season? Assist in game week 1, goal game week 3, assist in 5, assist in 7, goal in 9, goal in 11, goal and an assist in 13, goal in 14, assist 17. Should all captain Gordon. Killerat says, every time a captain would play against Luton, it seems to fail. And Linford says, last time Salah left for AFCON, he was only away for a week. Yeah, if you play the odds, though, I think Egypt's one of the big favourites. Definitely lost my place in the chat again. Why can't I find where I got up to? Makis says, should I sell Salah on the next game week for Haaland? Yeah, I think that's going to be the route. Musa, should I sell Archer for Solanke? It's tempting. Certainly if you've got 2 frees, even if you've got 1 free and no other issue, it's tempting. Natnell, should I bring Wilson for -4? No, there's no guarantees he starts. So I think that one's a bit risky. Dr. Walida bought Gomez before the Simicast price drop. Can't afford Trent. Yeah, that's fine. Please only ask a question once, else I've got no chance of answering them all before the deadline. Declan, would you start Gay? Only if I had to. Max, bench 1 between Porro, Konsa, Hwang and Colwill. Probably Colwill. Play Colwill or Archer. Colwill. James, money no issue. Archer to Jesus, Sterling to Foden, or Lascelles to Trent. Lascelles to Trent. Mac and Steve. Darwin, Kudus, or Watkins. Who to bench? Probably Kudus. Yeah, Tony says Egypt top 4 likely in AFCON. Got to agree. VJ had said get the stream up to 250 likes. We're not there yet, guys, so keep that coming. And keep subscribing as well. Possibly on the streams for Game Week 20, I'll put a little subscriber count. We're 50 off 29.5k, so that would be a great target to get on this stream. Sorry, just adjusting my mic. Hopefully you can still hear me. Rohit, bench one of Porro, Saka, Gabriel, Alvarez or Gordon. Between Gabriel and Alvarez. Puglia went for Porro over Trent to keep some funds in the bank for Haaland. That's fine. Femi, Diaz to Richarlison for a -4. I don't love the hit, but it depends if you're struggling to get 11 out or not. Declan, any word on Lascelles? No, not yet. I'd be surprised if he plays. We'll keep an eye out for news, though. With it being the early kickoff, there's hope that we get some news. Got the tweet deck open, so we'll keep looking. There's nothing at the minute, though. Andrew, keep Wilson and roll or get Jesus in now and solve Haaland with a minus later. It's tricky. Here's your first sub. You could bench Wilson potentially and start Archer. I think even if Wilson came on as a sub, though, he's got the pedigree, hasn't he? I think you just roll with what you've got. Bekalu says Haaland out for sure. We don't know at the moment. Ollie, play Areola or Turner? Areola. Amri, Nkunku or Isaac? Isaac. Hooker, got one free transfer. Simicast for Trent or Matoma to Bowen? Simicast for Trent. I can hear my kids wailing outside. I can't see them. It's one of them where you hear them before you see them. You won't be able to hear. Jake says, who would you bring in for Matoma? This is Gordon Bowen is kind of where I'd be at if you don't own them already. Sarah, if you don't have Solanke, would you buy? Thinking of rolling a transfer with Archer, Watkins, Nunes. Yeah, just roll. Yeah, unless you can upgrade Archer to Solanke. But the thing is, to get Haaland back in, it'll make things more difficult. By the way, guys, all the predicted points and stuff are available for Fantasy Football Hub members. And there's 30-day free trial still live. 30% off memberships beyond that. If you try it and, you're not enjoying it, then obviously you don't have to continue. Link is in the description. I could put it in the chat as well, to be fair. I'll put it in the chat as well, and then you can go have a look. Akash, I have 3 players going out in 21. Salah, Son and Kudus. Pretty sure I've had that one. Just leave it for this week. Knight Rider, is Wilson a wise pick? against Alvarez. It's just, the thing I don't like about the Newcastle strikers is the rotation. Beardy is in. Good to see you. Adjat, Pedro Porro or Sensi or Burn or Pinnock, bench one. Maybe Burn, you know. Potentially. Checking I've not missed any member questions. Shall we have another look on the tweet deck? It's all quiet at the moment. We've got an hour to deadline. Please only ask a question once, though. Ali says, do you have an FPL league to join? Yeah, it should. I think it's QUEYCT. It's the league code. Keith says Diaby's fallen off a cliff for points. Yeah, he's out of favour as well. Jagan went Sariba. Pinnock, any update on Haaland? Should I go for Nkunku or Alvarez? I think if you've got Haaland, you keep him. No update at the moment. Start him, don't captain. Hope for the best. Start Dubravka or Areola? Dubravka for sure. Stephen, is Solanke a good differential captain? Yes. Salah or Trent for captaincy? I'd go Salah, but I can see the argument in Trent. I just, yeah, never had that much success. Any team news leaks, says Linford? Not yet, I'm afraid. Avi, any update on Haaland? No, not yet. Start Archer or Konza? Probably Konza. Roy, replacement for Gross. I sack a Son Salah. Gordon. Daniel says, how close are you to 30k? Not as close as I'd like to be. We're getting closer. 29,450 at the moment. I need a big week. I think I gained... I've only gained 3 to 250 in the last week. I'm aiming for 550 this week. It's not even a week, is it? Well, I'm here on Boxing Day. I've ditched the family to stream, so if you don't subscribe already, please help me out. Nothing. Captain Solanke over Salah or Son, I don't love it, but yeah, it could work. Savash, will there be Newcastle early team news? I'm hopeful. We haven't got it yet, but I'm hopeful. Yeah, if anyone is watching and are not subscribed, please do. Please help me to 30k. The trouble is, with not many deadlines or content in January, if I don't hit it now, then I might have to wait like a whole other month. Yeah, we're just under an hour to deadline now. Unfortunately, there's no more information around from when I started the stream. But that doesn't mean we're not going to get some. I'm hopeful that we'll get some news from Newcastle. The Arsenal press conference is on Wednesday. Helpful. That's the thing. The later games in the schedule we're not even getting the presses for. There are no Newcastle... All we've had from Newcastle, the predicted lineups from Emma Jump the Wave, and updates from Ben. Joe Linton an outside chance. No update on Lascelles. And then on the predicted lineup, It's looking like Dubravka, Trippier, Schär, Botman, and then it's 60-40 for Burn, Livramento, and then a midfield 3, Bruno, Miley, Longstaff, and a front 3, Almiron, Gordon, Isaac 80%, Wilson 20%. Can't remember whether Ben had posted any predicted line. Oh yeah, it has, to be fair. Updated yesterday, so this could be quite good actually. This is available to hub members as well. And given that Ben's a Newcastle fan, I always like these. So he's predicting a front 3 of Wilson, Gordon, Almiron, Longstaff, Bruno, Guimaraes and Miley midfield, Livramento, Burns, Schär and Trippier, with Botman not starting, or Lascelles. I mean, if we got a leak that Livramento started, I'd probably play him over Saliba. Arsenal 1 clean sheet in 5. Livramento hasn't got an attacking return in the league yet this season, but home clean sheets are where it's at for Newcastle. So let's see if we get a leak. At the moment, we've got nothing. So, in the words of Pep, we will see. Keep the questions coming, guys. It's 300 of you in, so should give me plenty of time to answer these questions. We're almost at 250 likes as well. Ali says Richarlison or Odegaard. Tricky. The safe manager in me prefers Odegaard, I think. Linford says, start you doggy or Gusto. I think I go you doggy. Nelson said, I missed this before. I sold Trippier this week. Advice to anyone else, captain him. Dr. Walid, Alvarez, Haaland and Watkins v Solanke, Haaland and Watkins. Well, it's basically Alvarez v Solanke. Is Solanke a long hold? Yeah, I think so now. Especially with the double, yeah. Liquid C is Livramento starting. No leaks yet on the Newcastle team sheet. FPL Shorts tipping Forest to score against Newcastle. He's a Forest fan though, so... Brian, is Zinchenko a keep? Not been mentioned yet. Not for me. But it depends what other issues you've got. Casual Brighton fan, when should I bring Trippier back in? I don't really like Newcastle's fixtures. Obviously this week it's okay, but then... It's Liverpool, City, Villa, the next 3. I've tripled up on them, but 2 of them for me are really bench players, so I don't think he's a buy this week. Roma, Konza or Lascelles? Konza. Thoughts on Solanke captain? Don't mind it. Livramento minutes. We're waiting for the leak, but I'm hopeful. Zuber starts Saliba or Archer. Already starting Gabriel. Archer then. I prefer Saliba to Gabriel. I know Gabriel scored, but I guess now he's got that goal out the way. Saliba's more nailed. Khan, City have enough in the tank for Haaland to not start this soon. Sitting him on the bench. It's a bold decision. I wouldn't bench him. I don't know whether he'll be involved or not, but I feel like minutes from the bench are quite high. Creative JB, Trippier or Livramento? Which one to play? Trippier. Palmer to Bailey for a -4? No. Don't think it's worth it. I think you want Palmer long term. Ollie, I'd play Areola. Who's a good replacement for Hee-chan? We're looking in that Gordon Bowen area. But if you can just hold him this week, I would do. Vicky, Sensei a Colwell for Simicast Colwell. Hackney Man, chances of Salah being rested. I'd say probably about 20%. Mod, 1 free transfer. Should he bring in Gabriel by selling the cells? I've got Colwell, Trent, Porro, Taylor. I'd just roll. Manan, I've got Semenyo, Salah, Haaland, Son. Simicasta sells Kudos. Am I going to have to use my next wild card early? I think given the money you can release by selling Salah and Son for AFCON and the Asia Cup, I think you could get away without doing. Will Moreno start? Likely. I don't know for sure. Simon says, happy St. Stephen's Day. Nice to see you, Simon. I'm preparing for January by switching Son out for a Charleston. I wouldn't do that this week. I don't think you need to replace Hee-chan this week. Casual Brighton fan. Transfer out Alisson for Raya. Seems like a luxury move. Will Walker start? Who knows? Let's look at the City predicted lineup. So Ben is not predicting Haaland to start, which I don't think is a surprise. Walker in a predicted 11. Darwin to Solanke for a -4. Wouldn't do that. I think Solanke starts. Ben's predicting a start. Keep Isaac, really tricky one with the Newcastle strikers. Let's see if we get any leaks. We've got 50 minutes to the deadline. I can't see any leaks at the minute. I've had a few more subscribers. Be good to get to 29.5 on this stream. Yeah, I wanted to open the tweet deck though. That's what I was aiming for. Just to see if we've got anything coming through. We haven't though, I'm afraid. Walter, I would bench Zinchenko. Bench Zinchenko if we get news that Livramento starts. But Livramento on the bench for now. View on Andre Gomez for enabler. Don't really like returning players. I bear what to do with Isaac. Save the transfer, I would. Sterling replacements, Gordon, Bowen. Would you buy Richarlison for a -8 if you already have Son? No. Start Sensei or Porro? Gotta be Porro. Andre, bench Burn or Porro. I've Gabriel and Trent on field. AI suggested Burn over Porro, but I'm unsure. Yeah, I'd start Porro. Play Lascelles or Konza. I think Konza. I don't think Lascelles will play. Solanke captain, don't hate it. Will Wilson play? We don't know. Predicted to, but no guarantees. Abs is Simicast to Trent for a -4. Have Gabriel, Porro and Kabore. Yeah, probably. Tony, biggest thing this week, Trent has to blank, Trips needs to haul, Darwin owners should get an automatic -4. Love it. Walter, which two would you start? Zinchenko, Sensi, Livramento. I think you've got to bench Livramento unless we get news he starts. Benny, keep or sell Pau Torres? Did we get a time frame? Is he in the predicted lineup? I doubt he is. It depends if you need him this week or not. Yeah, a message from FPL Shorts in the chat that the first wild card needs to be played by the Game Week 20 deadline, which is Saturday. And then the second wild card is available from Game Week 21. I think that it's normally a week earlier, but I think they kind of adjusted it slightly with AFCON in mind. SN, how nailed is Moreno? Not nailed enough. Fitting in form Alvarez v Haaland. I think if you've got Alvarez, keep him. Turner or Ariel? I'm sure I've had this one already, Ollie. Again, I've just lost my place in the chat. There we go. Sterling replacements. I feel like it's the same names, Bowen, Gordon. Midfielders, predicted points over the next 4 game weeks. Bowen top. Gordon 4th. Foden and Eze up there. Barry, any news whatsoever on Haaland? There's absolutely nothing. I wish there was. But there isn't. I'd love to get Newcastle news. We've got 45 minutes till the deadline. Vice captain Saka is a differential. Yeah, fine. Play Jesus or bring in Solanke. Play Jesus. I am quite hopeful I could get all your questions answered, but please don't spam. Thanks to the mods doing an amazing job. Ryo, Archer to Solanke and Simicast to Porro, or Simicast to Trent and Lascelles to another defender. Have wildcard 1 available. I think Trent. Diaby to Palmer needed to fund cash to Zinchenko, Porro for a -4. Roland start Trips, Livramento, Bissaka. Bench of Taylor and Cash. I think you just roll. Here we go. Early team news. No Lascelles. I don't think that's a big surprise, but I feel like if that account is posting that news, that means that there will be more to come as well. So we'll keep an eye on it now. I'm just going to update the graphic with that. It could be some more to come, but that's what we know at the minute. I don't know if I'm guessing no Lascelles means that he's not in the squad. Maybe I should just put no Lascelles. I was going to put Lascelles out, but so I've learned the hard way that if you don't just quote exactly, then it's asking for trouble. So just trying to update your graphic on screen. was on the X Pro at exactly the right time. So we still got 43 minutes before the deadline. We've already had one leak coming out of Newcastle. So I imagine this will not be the first update on this. We'll keep an eye out. It's been quite good, this account, in the past for posting correct news. I'm guessing this account NUFC Will 1892 is going to be milking this for all it's worth, because he did post about half an hour ago calling all FPL players, I'm reporting for duty. Your first update will be at 10:15. So I guess probably in about 25 minutes time we'll have the full 11 for Newcastle. I'll put tweet notifications on as well. So yeah, that's the first update of Newcastle team news. It's good to know. We'll have more as it comes. But that is a trusted source, guys. So no Lascelles. I know that's not really going to set the world alight, because the thinking pre this news was that Lascelles was not going to be involved anyway. It does make my bench particularly weak, because I'm already down to Livramento as my only sub for outfield players. Hopefully Livramento starts. I think if Livramento starts, I'll play him over Saliba. But it's nice to have a bit more. Bit of news as well on Haaland now. Where's my tweet deck gone? This is from FPL Tony. Here we go. Hello, everyone. I had a lot of DMs asking about Haaland starting or not. Early kickoff doesn't help since they didn't train and have one other after the deadline. So I can't guarantee, like previous times. Personal opinion is that he won't start. And the best defender to buy from City is Walker. So maybe that means that Walker's expected to start for City. That is only an opinion. So there hasn't been any training yet for City, which is what I kind of said about half an hour ago. Personal opinion is that Haaland doesn't start. I'm not going to update the breaking news graphic with that, because I don't think it's not concrete news, it's just an opinion. But I guess what I've put already, which is buy Haaland back in game week 20, remains relevant with that little piece of information. So we'll bookmark it. Just checking we've not missed anything else. All seems okay. So yeah, the big news that we've got already is that Lascelles doesn't start. And rumours that Haaland won't start, but there's still training to go, so that could change. The question is, if Lascelles doesn't start, is Botman fit to start? Or does Burn play centre-back and Livramento play on the wing? I don't think it'll be long until we get another leak, so I think I'll keep the tweet deck open unless I need to jump over elsewhere. But team news is still coming in, so make sure that you are liking the stream and subscribing. We're nearly up to 300 likes. Subs are ticking along nicely as well. We're at 29,466. It'd be good to get to 29.5 on today's stream. VJ says, thanks for liking the stream. And Linford said, more votes than likes on the stream. Come on, guys, show the support of Holly's award-winning channel. Ali says, have you made your transfers? I'm planning to roll. Let's have a look at the tweet deck, which looks like it's wanting to buffer at the moment. Mansour, KDB will be in a bench this week, game week 20, so it'll be exciting to see him back. Yeah, and there's another update from City. All eyes on training day. The lads are expected in. Haaland, Doku, Rodri did not participate in full training on Christmas Eve. Suspect Rodri will be fine, in his own words. Other two, out. KDB still building up. Hopefully he's in the squad shortly. We'll see what Pep says. Blue Tone saying it's extremely unlikely that Haaland would play, but Pep will confirm. Jim says, take a hit to take out Lascelles. I have no bench. Yeah, get it done, Jim. I think it's difficult. If you've got money in the bank and you can get up to Trent, Trippier, Porro, and you don't own those players already, that's the way to go. I might just update the team news because it's looking increasingly likely that we're not going to see Haaland in 19, sorry. So I think we could get away without Haaland. But if you've got Haaland, I'd probably still start him, but you need to make sure you've got a strong bench. Sorry, just updating that graphic once again. We are 35 minutes out. I should imagine at past we'll get another Newcastle leak. Sorry, just trying to keep an eye on everything now. I did share, would you get Walker for Simicast and keep Archer on the bench or play Archer and roll? I think Archer and roll is the way to go. Tony, if you sell both Son and Salah, you'll be likely losing 0.6 to 0.7 of value. Yeah, but they will drop in price, you would imagine, especially the longer they're out. Mark, best Simicast Lascelles replacements, 0.9 in the bank, thinking Saliba. Yeah, that's the one. Femi, right now I have Haaland and Diaz starting. My bench is terrible. Kabore, Taylor Palmer. Should I take a hit to change Kabore to Gusto? Or do you think Kabore starts? I'd sell Diaz. Max, any news on De Bruyne? No, not particularly. Lost my place in the chat again. Yeah, I've completely lost my place now this time. Gonna have to skip. Lou says, who to bench? Gordon, Huang or Porro? Huang. Amber Stu, new subscriber, thank you. Chloe wants an update on who's off to AFCON. There was something on the hub. I don't know if it's been updated though. Oh no, it has been updated. Provisional squads are in. So Salah, obviously. Wissa. Anana, Jackson, Kabore, Kudus, Lamptey, Adingra. Probably the main ones. And then the Asia Cup, Son, Mitoma, Hee-chan. Going to put the tweet deck back up while we're waiting for additional information to come in. Mansour going to have to hit in a defender if Lascelles isn't starting. Who to bring in now? Got Gabriel, Porro, Trent and Konza. Yeah, it's tricky because you've kind of got the main bases covered. Abe is saying in the chat Isaac starts, but I haven't seen that backed up anywhere. FPL Josh predicted a Solanke hat-trick. Interesting. It's a tough week for prep, that's for sure. I'm just making sure that I've got everything open so that if any more leaks come through, we're on top of it. John Doe by Alvarez or Trent? Trent. Sean, Livramento or Zinchenko? It depends. If we get a leak Livramento starts, then I'd say Livramento, but right now Zinchenko. Jagun, is Sariba an okay punt? I don't love it. The Gaffer, do you think Odegaard is good this week? Potentially. It would be my top pick, but... Thoughts on mine on Kunku? Don't love it. Assad, play Archer and roll or sell him to Alvarez? I'd just play Archer. FPL Josh, bench Gordon. I wouldn't do that. Ian, bench Zinchenko or Bowen? Zinchenko. Arvid, bench Lascelles, Archer or Porro? Lascelles is out, so Lascelles. Frankie, keep Archer a roll or getting Alvarez to cover Haaland 20 absence. It depends. The thing is, right now, we don't actually know. Oh, what's happened there? We've more news. Wilson bench today, which I guess means Isaac starts. Wilson benched, Isaac starts. That is the next piece of info. That's good to know for Isaac owners. Just another piece of information. I told you, half past would be the next thing. I bet by 10:45, we've got the full lineup to help us with our preparations. What we want to know is on Livramento, so we'll see what happens there. So we've got no Lascelles. Isaac starts. Wilson bench. I was struggling to fit all the news in on the graphic. It's great though. I love it when you've got a team that you want injury news for the early kickoff and you've got a reliable source. There will be some people in bed right now, hungover from Christmas and missing the deadline. Meanwhile, you're one of the 300 people here now getting these leaks on my channel. It's giving you an advantage over all of your rivals. We've got Gordon starts as well. coming through. Hang on, where did I miss that? That was supposedly through from FPL Main Road. Did I miss something? Oh, yeah, Gordon starts. Gonna have to add notifications on. Hang on, what's this doing now? Go away. Right, I'll update the graphic on that as well. There's so much news coming. I can't keep up with it. So what we know from Newcastle so far is that there's no Lascelles. Isaac and Gordon start. And Wilson is benched. Probably by the time I've updated this graphic again, we'll get even more. It's all kicking off. If you're enjoying the team leaks, though, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. So I just wanted to make sure that I've got FPL Main Road on tweet notifications because, oh yeah, it's working. Yeah, so I should imagine another 10 minutes and we'll get at least one more link from Newcastle. Sorry, I've just realised that the news has disappeared altogether. Why is that not working? Who knows? Let me just try exporting it again and saving it. The stream looks a bit messy without the background on. We'll try again. Technology failing on me. What we want is the Livramento news, because I think if we got a leak that Livramento started, I would then start him this week. I fear that if I play around too much with this, the whole stream is going to disappear. Hang on, we've got something else from Will. Oh, it's just Gordon again. Yeah, so this is what we know from Newcastle so far. No Lascelles, Isaac and Gordon start, Wilson is benched. What we're waiting for is news on Livramento. Tweet deck still open. I'll leave the tweet deck open, because obviously it's useful to have this news coming through. I'll try and answer a few more questions. Definitely lost my place in the chat now, but we'll see how we go. Is it Isaac or Isaac? What do you mean? If it's my pronunciation. Is it a reliable source? Yes. Phil. Best 1 week punt before game week 20 wildcard. Trent. Car's asking if Livramento starts. That's the leak we're waiting for. I should imagine we will get it. As I've said, if we got a leak that Livramento starts, I'm willing to play him over Saliba this week. We're nearly up to 29.5k, guys. So please help me out. Around 50% that watch don't sub. There's 300 of you in at the moment, so please help me out. I'll put the tweet deck back up. Jazim, play Bailey or bench him for Konza? Probably still play him. Salah or Trent for cap? I'm on Salah. I like the argument for Trent, but I refuse to captain a defender in FPL. Sorry, I'm getting very bunged up. We're 23 minutes out, though, so I'll power through. Thoughts on captaining Saka? Don't like his form enough at present to give him the armband. Abdiz. Simic has to Trent for a -4 of Gabriel, Porro and Kabore, yeah. Should I start Pinnock or Konza? Pinnock. What I also want to know, guys, while we're waiting for this news, is which goalkeeper you think I should start? Salah winning the captain poll by some margin. So which goalkeeper should I start? I feel like I'm doubling down on this bad Martinez move. So it's Martinez away to United. Or Flecken at home to Wolves. Let me know. I guess we're probably going to have to wait another 5 minutes until we get the news that we want on Livramento. I'll keep on with questions in the meantime. Also realised I need to send a picture of my team in. Because I'm in a like competition thing. Is it strikers, keepers, losers, weepers? Something like that. I just need to send the guy that's running it my lineup for this week as it stands. Without my PC crashing. Come on, we want news on Livramento. I think they're going to keep us hanging on for another 5 minutes. We had a leak at 10:30, a leak at 10:45. We had a leak at 10:15, so I'm expecting 10:45 is the next one. Everyone's starting to feel a bit nervous now. "20 minutes to deadline." David is in and says, "Merry Christmas." Thanks for joining, David. Dan G with the ultimate flex on holiday in Barbados. 6:30 a.m. here. Random wake up. Glad now as I've forgotten to change captain. It's now on Trent. Good luck. Good luck to you too. Sandeep, Konza or Porro? Gotta be Porro. Derek, would you go Darwin or Alvarez? If this is just like to start, Darwin. Phil, held on to Haaland, got no subs, take a -4 for Alvarez or Solanke. No, I think you still hold Haaland. I think if you've got no subs, you work on the subs. Bobby Joe, is it essential to have an Arsenal defender now? Tanvir, what's your current rank? I think I went down quite a bit. I think my rank doubled from, I was at 200k, now I'm at 380k. Super chat in from 1NMP. opinion. Thanks for the inside info and patience answering all of these dilemmas. No worries. Thank you for the super chat. Do you think Darwin and Gakpo start? I think Diaz's injury helps them. We haven't had any news, but I think the fact that Darwin didn't start the last game bodes well for him starting this game. Predicted minutes for Liverpool players. Darwin on 59 minutes. Have I missed Gakpo or is he not on the list? Gakpo only on 45 minutes, but on Ben's predicted lineups for Liverpool, I think he predicted both of them to start. Darwin wide, Gakpo through the middle, yeah. I think the Diaz injuries is the thing that is going to help. Who else has he got? Right, thank you for the super chat. Let me put the tweet deck back up. It's 43 minutes past. And guess if we're going to get any further news on Livramento among these Newcastle leaks, it'll be in the next 2 minutes. We've got 90 seconds. Peter, Colwell or Gabriel / Porro. AN Tavernier to Gordon for a -4. I don't know if I love it, but I guess we know he starts. Jazim sold liver to Trent to reduce his headache. Don't blame you. May not be a headache though if we just get the leak. I'm hopeful that if we get a leak in the next minute, that'll be it. Brian says, well done, Holly, on a great feed. You need a Lemsip now. Yeah, I feel like I've been on the verge of a cold since Christmas Eve. Or maybe the day before. And each day I've been waking up thinking, going to be ill today. This is the worst it's been. But I'm off, obviously, for the rest of the day and tomorrow before picking up the Game Week 20 content on Thursday. And then lack of deadlines in January mean I'm not going to be very busy, so plenty of time to convalesce. Jordan says, where are you from? Trying to guess your accent. West Yorkshire. Grimsby. So, yeah, Lincolnshire, just a bit further down on the coast. East coast. I don't know if are we going to get a leak? Has anything come up? Maybe we're not getting anything on Livramento. Maybe that is the extent of the link. Gordon starts, Lascelles not involved, Isaac over Wilson. I was kind of hopeful if something else was coming, it was coming now, and it hasn't. Which is annoying. How long do I leave it? Livramento's on my bench at the moment. But I would start him over Saliba if we got a leak that he did start. But we haven't yet. Threadbare bench, though, because we know that Lascelles is out. We're almost up to 29.5k, guys. Need another 13 to get me there. Simicast Trent for a -4. Yeah, probably do it, to be fair. No news on Kabore. No City leaks, but Haaland didn't train with the group on Christmas Eve by the sounds of things and is not expected to start. So no need to buy him back this week, but I think if you've got him, just hang on to him. We're creeping up. About 50% who watch don't sub, so that could be 175 people watching right now that don't sub. Tanvir says on Kunku to look out in the coming weeks. Chelsea got a good line of fixtures coming. Yeah, I think we just need to see him get a few more minutes under his belt. We are 13 minutes out, guys. Nothing else coming through at the moment to help us with Newcastle, Livramento. Which is frustrating. Newcastle have just tweeted a picture of Botman. So I think Botman starts. So I think it will probably be a back line of Botman, Trippier, Trippier, Share, Botman, Burn. Could be Livramento. But I think that tweet provides an indication that Botman is in the 11. I can't remember how many minutes he played last time out. He played 45 minutes in the cup, didn't he, last midweek? Maybe it was Wednesday, Thursday evening. 53 against Luton. But yeah, that suggests to me that Botman starts. So I don't think we're going to see... Linford just said, people are saying FPL South said Livramento starting. Can you confirm that, Holly? Don't know if I'm familiar with FPL South. Looks like this account has said and cannot confirm. Livramento had nothing press. Couple claiming he starts, but I can't confirm. So maybe hasn't got the full 11. I mean, it's not an account I'm familiar with. Posted at 10:18 that Livramento starts, Lascelles doesn't, Isaac does. I think this tweet looks quite convincing. He knew at 10:18 that Isaac starts, which is before the other leak came. But no track record. Might be... We've got 10 minutes, haven't we? I'm not sure if it's enough for me to put Livramento in my squad, in my 11. I need to think about it. Got 10 minutes to decide. It's a difficult one. But then that suggests that Burn is benched. But I guess, let's look at this way. Burn can play centre-back. I doubt Botman can play 90. Share's had his injuries as well. Is he thinking bench Burn and then bring him on for whoever can't last that long? Killer Rat's asking for last minute news. So we've got news. Sorry, I've not even got the news up. No Lascelles. Isaac and Gordon start for Newcastle. Wilson benched. There are rumours. There is another account that's tweeting that Livramento starts, but it's not an account I'm familiar with. But it could be enough for me to start Livramento. Really tight on my goalkeeper poll, by the way. I'm going to stick with Martinez. I mean, I don't even know why I'm stressing out about this, because I've got Saliba. Either way, I'm probably going to need my first sub this week. It's going to be carnage. It slightly worries me that I've not got a stronger bench, but with a plan to get Haaland back, Creative JB says Will follows him. That's interesting. Yeah, quite a lot of people I follow this account. But it says I've muted posts from this account. I don't know why I've muted them. Whether they've been giving me grief or whether they've posted wrong news. I think I'm just going to switch. I think I'm going to start Saliba, bench Livramento, but I might need him anyway. Linford, start Saliba or Augusto? I think I'd start Saliba. Well, let's keep the tweet deck up then. 7 minutes to deadline. Most people locking in. Now, make sure you're subscribed. I don't know if I'm going to get any more leaks. I doubt it at this point. You never know. I've got everything open though, so if anything else comes through, we're on it. People asking, does Burn start? Burn v Botman? We don't know. There's rumours Livramento starts, but they're unconfirmed. Newcastle have tweeted a picture of Botman, which suggests he starts. So I think it will be Trippier, Share, Botman, and then one of Burn and Livramento. Livramento could start higher up. That's the other thing. Does Darwin start? We don't know. Is Wilson bench? Yeah, you've got the team news up there. Look, no Lascelles. Isaac can go on and start. Wilson bench. So that's all great. Great source for that one. The Livramento starts one. Don't know. It's tempting to play Livramento. Got to make a decision, really. 5 minutes to deadline. Well, maybe I ask you guys. It'll be a flash poll. Start. Who to start? So we've got Livramento at home to Forest. Bearing in mind that last time Newcastle kept a clean sheet at home and I benched 2 Newcastle defenders, or Saliba at home to West Ham. Thing is, I expect West Ham to score. Like, has Livramento got enough upside? But Livramento could be benched and come on for a 1-pointer. 71% at the moment saying Saliba, 62%. Oh, there's always got to be a last minute stress with me, hasn't there? 4 minutes to the deadline. Tony says, I can see West Ham scoring more than Forest. Yeah, I get that. But on the other hand, I'm not convinced that Livramento starts at the moment. I think what was said from that Newcastle account couple claiming he starts, but I can't confirm. Means that he's not. Oh, people are saying he's. I don't know. I'm a bit confused now. Most of you still saying Saliba. I think I'm going to stick with it. I'll probably need Livramento off my bench anyway, as I've said. Picture of Anthony Gordon. We know he starts. He looks in a good mood as well. Anyone fancy Gordon punt? This is my 11 then. Rolling the transfer. Captain. Salah. I think what I'll do is I'll just put the tweet deck on another tab, and then if we get anything in the final 2 minutes, then I can let you guys know. Oh dear, FPLA, another deadline. We're not quite at the big 29.5, by the way. It's creeping up. Five away? 4 away? 4 away. So if you are not yet subbed, help me out. Heading for 30k subs. Trying to get there before the game week 20. No, by Sunday, by the end of the week /year, I'm aiming for 30k. I'm very likely going to fall just short, but I've given it my best shot. I don't think we're going to get anything else. One minute to lock in, guys. 45 seconds, actually. How are we feeling? After last week, I'm not relishing it. Oh, come on, 1 off now. Who's watching that hasn't subbed? Yeah. 10 seconds to deadline. Tony says I'll be competing with Andy in no time. I will see. I think that could be it then, guys. That is the deadline. We didn't actually ever get a leak that I was happy enough with that Livramento starts, which is why I've benched him. But that is the deadline. So my plan is to try and get Haaland back next week if I feel like I need to. To get him back next week, the route will be... I've got 2 free transfers, so the route would be to sell Salah to get him back. Salah for... let me just think about it. I don't know who I'm selling Salah for. That's the decision I've got to make. But in terms of players coming in, I think in terms of who's coming in, I've got to think about maybe taking a bit of a punt there. Could go Bowen. Could go Bowen in for Salah and then Darwin to Haaland. But there's no guarantees we'll need it. We'll see, won't we? Something to consider in the next week or two in terms of exactly what move to make. A bit stressful actually making a decision on exactly who to go for. I am going to start wrapping things up though. Because it is Boxing Day and I probably do need to get back to my family. By the way, we did make it over the line. We've made it. Sorry, it's just going to refresh. We made it up to 29.5k. So I need another 500 subscribers this week to get to the big 30. So any support, anyone that you know who isn't subscribed to the channel that might like the content, or even anyone that doesn't, you know, your parents' phones, your the halves, your kids, get them all subscribing, because it'll be a huge target to get there by the end of the year. Thank you to everyone that's chosen to spend their Boxing Day morning with me. I'm off the rest of the day and tomorrow, but on Thursday I'll be back with content looking at Game Week 20 with another deadline on Saturday. So 4 days till the next deadline. Then it's going to all calm down a bit. But I hope everyone has a good week this week, and I'll be back with you very soon. So thanks for the support. Thank you for watching.